How's it going, guys? Captain Foley here with you. Good to see you. Welcome back. It's time to talk about the Orville. I should probably raise this up, actually. That might be better. But today we're talking about Future Unknown, which is a more ominous title than the episode actually is. I'll talk about the episode in a minute. But hold on, let me just get everything situated. I am a little bit early, so this is the way. If you haven't hit like yet, hit like. Lil King, if you're watching, please comment. Let's see. Wow. Carly T's not happy. This is an irresponsible. Hold on. This is the most irresponsible thumbnail you possibly could have posted. Anyone who sees this now knows what the episode is ruined. You are despicable. Well, tough. I just saw the comment that says if you're tuning in live, the assumption is you've already seen it. But that is completely false because your thumbnail is displayed as a suggestion. Wow. Just because you see a thumbnail of a wedding doesn't mean that the wedding actually happens or goes off without a hitch. So I really get annoyed with people that are like, your thumbnail ruined it. Oh, tough titty. You know what? Because we got to get the views. We got to get people in here. We got to do something interesting. And that's an interesting thumbnail. So I'm sorry, Carly T, but you're too bad. Let's see. Mark Lawrence throws in $5. So thank you so much, Mark. It was a great episode to end of series on. It was a great episode to end the series on if it doesn't get renewed, but also it left many more doors open for future seasons. Yes. It was a great episode. Hope they had enough food at the wedding reception for the entire Keelan race. BJ Turon, $5. Very TNG with A and B plots, Bestman a C plot, and a morale lesson on the Prime Directive. Yes, okay. I'm just gonna open up my drink. Hold on. I'll be drinking for every super chat, as we do sometimes here. Okay, boom. So I need three drinks now. Sebastian commented with a super chat of €2 and says, "You are despicable." Yeah, well, I've been called worse things, so I really don't give a shit. I'm not despicable. I mean, if you go anywhere, you're going to see that. I'm sorry, but BJ Turon, $1. All right, so we got some Crown Royal whiskey and cola. Good shit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not get enough money to finish it. Not even close. This episode I'd like because there was no big bad. There was no, ooh, on the edge of your seat tension, something's going to happen. No, it was just a day in the life of, basically. And I love those episodes. I find those to be the most fun. Plus, this was also a very good, this was probably the best example of explaining what the prime directive is ever. So kudos to them. Very, very fun description of the prime directive and why it was implemented. So what happened to the researchers on the plant? I don't know. They got their shipment. It's fine. It was just a shipment. They were getting resupplied. Jedek says, "How dare you call the captain that? He may be cranky at times, not easy to handle at other times. But he is not a porn star." Well, I wouldn't say that necessarily. It might have been a porn star in the past or the future. I don't know. No, this was a fun episode. I'm glad that the girl that wanted asylum decided to stay. I had a feeling, I was like, check her bag, man. Check her bag. Something sketch is going on. Glad they had it was so Star Trek in the way that it was all handled. It reminded me of the Time Traveler episode where once he entered the shuttle, they detected everything that he had stolen. So no, I thought it was great. And I agree with the girl in a way, but at the same time, it's like, I'm glad she changed her mind. I'm glad she decided to stay, honestly, because fuck me, if I got taken off and I was if I got taken away and I was on this ship that had a, holodeck essentially and, a replicator and all that, I would not be coming back to this shithole of a planet. I'm sorry, guys. If I had the opportunity, I'd be out of here and I would not come back. I wouldn't give a shit for you guys. You guys destroy yourselves. It's fine. Yeah, I might feel a little guilty. Couldn't take all of you with me. But hey, it is what it is. So I'm glad she made the right decision at the end. And yeah, Alara coming back was great. Spoilers, don't watch this in case you want... Fuck off. Anyway. Yeah, I noticed there was no scenes with her and Ed, though. Yeah, he was in like a scene with her, but they never had any direct communication, which was interesting because they did date at one point. Don't know if there's hard feelings there. I certainly hope not. But it was nice to see Alara back, and the whole Kalons showing up, the entire planet, essentially. I thought that was going to be a problem. I thought because the planet only had a minimal contingent left there, that the Mocklins or the Krill were going to take advantage of that, and then it was going to get blamed on the Union. I thought it was going to be a big problem. I'm glad there wasn't that. I'm glad it was just simply point A, point B, boom, 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 boom. Nice, simple. I also, when Lamar gave Isaac the advice, I was like, oh, dude, you see where this is going. I thought he was just going to go out and, ask somebody else on a date. I didn't think it'd be Kelly first, I thought it'd be somebody else. And he actually went on a date with them, and that would be a problem. And I thought that would be a problem as well. Glad that none of the problems were problems. They were just like everyday things. If you communicate with each other, you solve the problem. It's one of the things I hate about a lot of these shows is nobody talks to everybody else, and it just causes problems. Just communicate, tell people what's going on. You can solve the problem instantly. So, anyway. 4,000 ships, yes. Just did a C-store run and I broke down and bought a Klondike bar. Nice. BJ Tehran, I don't think Earth had its shit together when the Vulcans showed up. It was just after World War III, but as we see in Enterprise, Vulcans were jerks about sharing. Good job, Jedek, for scoring high. I thought someone was going to hit Kalon as well. Yeah, I also thought there would be problems with, the speeches with the Kalons there. they might not understand the humor and be like, oh, if it doesn't work out, Isaac's recyclable. I thought, although they were going to like, pull out the guns and be like, what is that? You're going to do what to? So I'm glad that didn't happen. I liked this episode a lot. Um, and I just want to say that these are my kind of episodes. Yes, I love the action pack. Yes, I love the battles and stuff like that as well. But I hate being on edge through an episode as to what's going to happen next. This one was just a nice slow meander around to the end, and it was fine. So I really enjoyed this one for that reason. I think Isaac's plan was to start with Grayson and work down the ranks. Yes, I think so as well. I do think so as well. Pumpkin Spice, annoying, but wouldn't the Union be fascinated by whoever, let's see, those people are? Exactly like humans, same language, same development? Why is that annoying? That's why they have researchers there. Plus, they've already been to that planet. I think it was in season 1. That's one where Lamar humped a statue and almost got killed for it. Because it's like the Twitter culture on her planet. So yes, they are fascinated by it. Eric Martin, heavy rain tonight. Are you getting it, Cap? No, not right now. We had some lightning and thunder like half an hour ago. But other than that, it's been fine. So, no. It's supposed to be some later tonight and tomorrow, but... The Cynical Optimist. So, honey, how many guests have you invited to the wedding? 4 billion. ENG09. Hello, Captain, my fellow Marine. Hey, ENG. We've been playing Aliens Fire Team Elite, and we're stuck on this goddamn mission. We kept trying it and can't finish it. We now know the solution, but we still have to implement it. So we're going to do that probably after this live. So I might stream that live as well, but we'll see. But yes, hi, ENG09. Sorry I can't play right now, but I do have to talk about the Orville and do my job, essentially. So... Squadron Course can't super chat for a bit. 4K monitor died yesterday, and my iPhone died. Damn, son, that sucks. Matt Borman, yes, I was totally okay with this one being a nice slow episode. Yes, me too. I thought they were going to build up to something big at the end. Like honestly, I thought somebody was going to attack Kalon when everybody was away, and it was going to be all blamed on. Even the Kalons were going to kind of blame it on the Union. I also thought the whole thing about them getting married and the lead Kalon saying, "Is that like slavery? Are they doing something bad to you?" I thought that was going to be a problem as well. I'm glad none of those things happened. I was glad it was just a realistic, talk to each other, figure things out, get things done episode. And I gotta say, I really feel for Ed. The whole sober man, you have done well, you can leave now, was funny. But later with the dress, I'm the same way. That looks great. That one also looks great. Can we just agree that I'm useless? That's what I said. I said that one looked great, but it's the way you said it. It's like, no, it's how a man's brain works. They both look fantastic. I don't want to tell you what you should wear. Like I really like the first dress. Me personally, I really like the first dress. That was very flashy, very nice. But then I got the second dress, which is more wedding-like. It also had the low cut, got some cleavage there. I obviously like that. So I would have said, yeah, that one's fantastic too, but for different reasons. So I feel bad for Ed for that. I'm glad that was on there because that's exactly how I feel when Sylvia or her friends ask me to do something like that. And I have gone dress shopping with one of Sylvia's friends and Sylvia to help her pick a dress, and it was rough for me because it's like not only do they all look alike at a certain point, especially wedding dresses, but it's like, do what makes you happy. Which one do you feel the most beautiful in? I'm not going to tell you which one, you know what I mean? It's like you can't win in that situation. So I really love that. I thought that was hilarious. Defo will play on friendship one, though the prawn directive bits. Matt Boardman, love the episode. It had some things that made you think, things that made you laugh, and things that you thought were some sweet memory moments for the crew. Oh, Matt, Matt made the thumbnail for this episode, so Matt's actually the despicable one. You missed that, Matt. There was some lady at the beginning. What the hell was her name? Carly T, who said, "This was the most irresponsible thumbnail you could possibly have posted. Everyone who sees it now has the episode ruined. You are despicable." And then she goes on to say, "I just saw the comment that says if you're tuning in live, the assumption is you've already seen it, but that is completely false because your thumbnail is displayed as a suggestion." Well, tough shit. So, Matt, you're despicable as well. Anyway, Matt says, "Love this episode. It had some things to make you think, things to make you laugh, and things that I thought were sweet moments with the crew." Yes, all those things. It was awesome. The doctor giving Lamar the business in the interim cracked me up. Yeah. What are y'all looking at? I fucking love that. Spock did not heed in a private little war. Okay. Matt Boardman, also, I'm 1000% okay with them taking advantage of Scott Grimes' voice. I've enjoyed that addition to the series of having Gordon sing at times. Yes, absolutely. Highlight their talents. BJ said, "Ed with the dress should have fallen back on his, what do you think?" Kelly only saw one. That's true. Squadra Course, thanks for the sympathy. We'll be okay. Just wake me out till payday. No problem, my friend. Hope you are, get it all sorted. Bill says, "Wife, honey, which one of these dresses looks the best on me?" Run, it's a trap. Yes, but you cannot run either. That's also, it's a catch-22, man. Sebastian, €5. If you had to choose, what was more of a highlight, Bortus Elvis or Kalon Stripper? Bortus Elvis for me. I always thought the stripper thing at those bachelorette parties was lame anyway. It was kind of funny that it was Isaac, but also kind of weird because it's a holographic Isaac, or it's not Isaac, it's just another Kalon, I guess. But the little pasty things that popped out were funny. I don't know. I thought the Bortus Elvis was quite hilarious. So, I need a drink for that one. The sandwich. Yes, I'm glad the sandwich returned. They were in that room a few times in the episode, and I'm like, I'm waiting for the sandwich. And sure enough, boom, and it made Gordon feel better. Awesome. Captain, always go for the dress with the most cleavage. Yes, I know. I know this. But then did you notice at the wedding she had a necklace on that totally covered it all anyway? It's like, well, I want the other dress now. I'm just saying. Ryan K. said this before, but like the dress uniform. Yes, their version of the Monster Maroon, I find, and I thought it was fucking stellar. I loved it. I thought it was great. Need to see more of those. This cannot be the last season. We need a season 4 for sure. Nice comment, Matt. Matt also says, "I enjoy being despicable." Yes. Little King, about to sit down with the girlfriend and watch the episode. Just figured I'd pop in and say hello and watch the stream later on. Well, good to see you, Little King. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Looking forward to chatting with you about it. But good to see you. Glad you're here. I already gave you a shout out earlier on. Squadra Course, I was thinking, or Bill says, Squadra Course, I was thinking, what would Admiral Akbar say? Jadek has to go. Second draft, first final assignment. Okay, good luck. Little King, hope you're having a good night, Captain. I am, Little King. Hopefully you are as well. And yeah, I actually stopped into the store today and you weren't working. So I was going to say check out my live tonight, but you're already here. At least you were. You're probably gone by now. But Matt Boardman and Carly T can show us on the diagram where the review thumbnail hurt them. Yep. It's a tricky thing making thumbnails, honestly. Because yeah, some things are spoilers. You got to kind of hold back on the first day or something. But honestly, if you want to get the attention, you want to get the views, you want to get people to notice, you need to do something. And I've already saw things about this episode on Facebook, so you're inundated with it in today's society. So when I get called out for a spoilery thumbnail, I sometimes feel bad, and a lot of times I'll say to Samuel, "This thumbnail is too spoilery." We've changed it maybe 3 or 4 times, a thumbnail in the course of the 7 years we've been doing this for that reason. But overall, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So tough shit. Mario, I think it's impressive how comfortable McFarlane is in taking a back seat to everyone else. The whole show is basically a vanity project, and he eschews vanity anyway. The cynical optimist. If your wife asks you which dress you like better, you just need to accept your fate that you will now be trapped for all time. It's true. Holographic Kalons go bump in the night. Pumpkin Spice was hoping the spider alien story progressed. If they do another season, for sure it will. Necromancer, I love this episode. Me too. Other dress was more sci-fi like, yep. Isaac asked Lamar first for a date. It's because it was his suggestion, and he's like, well, do you want to date me? I thought it was hilarious. Cleavage is like a solar eclipse. You should not look directly at it. Unless you're really, really good. Squadron Course. I always say the cheapest one looks best. That's not a good answer. I'm sorry. R.G. Merkel. When I see the sandwich reappear, I was thinking, good job closing out that simple storyline edition. Yep. Necromancer. I laughed so much when Isaac invited all the Kalon. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a problem in some way. Olivia Julius. Typical male doesn't know good fashion. Wedding dresses are all different. If you say so. George Mangrum, I don't get the impression that there will be another season since Hulu hasn't announced anything sad. Well, Seth MacFarlane wants to do one. They wanted to get the fans' input. Fans all want it. So I heard a rumor that season 4 would be coming. So we can only keep our fingers crossed and hope. I loved Malloy's reaction when the Kalon fleet arrived. Yeah. I also really like the fact that it ended on such a peaceful, like, this could be the end of the series. That's fine. There's no conflict. The Kalons are at peace with the Union. Yeah, the Krill and the Mocklins are doing their own thing, but it's not like a heated war. I loved it. It was just like a nice. I like that. And I actually thought at the end, that's what Gene wanted, for Star Trek, to just have out there doing your thing. I also like that explanation from Kelly as well about you don't need a job, but laying around all day and being, a drain on society is frowned upon, but you can do whatever you want to do. And she mentioned a waiter, be the best waiter. Who the fuck would want to be a waiter? That's my question. But, I mean, I'm sure some people might enjoy that. I don't know. The cynical optimist. Weddings in fiction are often tedious and samey, but this one was so earnest and beautifully done. You know it's good when they really remind you how much you love your own partner. Yes, and it was short. There was no, do you take her to be your wife till death do you part for good? But it was just like, do you take her to be your wife? I do. Boom, 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 boom. Quick. That's how a fucking wedding ceremony should be done. Not drawn out, blah, 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 blah. Just get it done. Hit the beats. Done. Boom. Awesome. Very well done. I also love that all the Kalons on the groom's side all moved in sync. I thought that was great. Sitting up or standing up, sitting down, clapping. It was fun. It was really good. Squadron Course, it's the best answer for my wallet. Well, if she's buying a goddamn dress, you know what? Then she should be paying for it. End of discussion. Bill 23799, new season. Eric Martin, I love weddings when friends and relatives get drunk and get up and tell embarrassing stories about the bride and groom. Well, it's lucky I have no embarrassing stories about me at all. So, Olivia says, I'm one step closer to driving humans around. I turned the keys in my truck in today. Yeah, congrats on the career switch, but she's going to be driving real life human beings around in a bus now. So I pray for all of them. Matt Boardman, so nice to not have a Save the Universe finale. Yes, I agree. Necromancer, during the wedding, I wonder what the guests talked to the other Kalon about. I can imagine the convo being quite weird. I'm sure the Kalons had lots of questions. I also love that it was broadcast to basically every Kalon. they've never seen this kind of ceremony. I thought that was very nice. As a nice, start learning about the union. I thought that was great. So they've all experienced one now. Bill says, I want to be the best layabout. I do too. Trek or not, in some countries there are pro waiters, kind of like expert butlers. There's more to it than a lot of people think. Carl, yeah, but those pro waiters are doing it to get tips, bigger tips, better tips, money, money, money. Maybe they enjoy it. I don't know, but it's still driven by money, motivation. So, just saying. This was a wonderful character-driven episode, says Carl. Yes, absolutely. R.G. Merkel, it was great. The Union crew members and the Kalon standing around just talking and getting to understand each other better. Quadricorns, peace and tranquility are great things to strive for, but they don't always make for the best stories. I can agree, but I can also disagree. So, Necromancer, yeah, the Kalons in sync were awesome. They should start a dance group. Kashink says it was an amazing finale. Trek or not, broadcast was symbolic of humans accepting a Kalon as equals. The Cynical Optimist, I love the little touches in the performances too, like Isaac lovingly resting his hand on Ty's shoulder when Gordon was singing. Yes, I noticed that as well. That was very nice and very subtle and quite touching. So, yes. Olivia says, I'm applying for my passport on Monday. Canada, here I come. Mr. Anderson, union dress uniform has a definite Monster Maroon vibe for me. Monster Whites? Or Magnificent Whites? I prefer calling the Monster Maroons Magnificent Maroons. I know why they're called Monster Maroons, but they're very magnificent as well. So, and yeah, those dress uniforms on point, looked fantastic. I love the buckle. Like they had the buckle up here, one here, and then like the belt buckle was actually along the line. I thought that was great. Is Isaac fully functional? I'm sure he is, yes. Pumpkin Spice. Why was the show delayed 3 years? Most other shows shut down for just a few months. I don't know. Necromancer. I like a little slice of life episode every now and then in between the awesome fleet battles, of course. Yes. There's many times where I'm like watching a movie and I'm really enjoying the first 20 minutes where nothing's happening. You're just establishing the world and getting to see what their life is like. And it's like, I could fucking watch a 2-hour movie of this. And then no, the big bad thing happens that, gets to the climax of the movie and then, fuck off. There's a lot of movies like that I'd rather just see the day-to-day shit going on than the big and then, you know what I mean? So this one, I really like this one for that reason. Trek or not, wonder in season 4, will we get an episode where they come across a transporter at some point? If it happens, of course. They could benefit from a transporter. I doubt they'll do that. They've already done a lot of things similar to Star Trek, so that's the one thing kind of setting them apart. And by the way, that shuttle launch, where you see the ship and then the shuttle goes straight down, that was beautiful. That would make a great poster. Just saying, of that one shuttle launch at the beginning. Selena says, loved Ed and Kelly holding hands at the end. Are they going to rekindle their relationship? Who knows? Bill says, for a truly good old world waiter, it was not fancy. It was not just about money. It was about knowing your customers and providing outstanding service. Mr. Anderson says, magnificent whites it is. Pearly whites. Loved the dress uniform, says Soberman. I like your thumbnail and your name, Soberman. Very good. Soberman, you have contributed well to the conversation. You may leave now. Mr. Anderson says, to answer Pumpkin, a little thing called a pandemic caused delays, additional to the Fox-Disney merger, the Orville being moved to Hulu. Hopefully we get season 4 sooner. That was the other thing, yeah. It also moved from Fox to Hulu. And It's a different production company, and there were issues. Bill says, Transporter, I would be happy if they run a turbo lift to the bridge. I kind of like not having a turbo lift to the bridge, honestly. I think it works. Gastrel says, yes, this thought of launch was great. Thought the same. Says, hey, Captain, almost missed your live by 27 minutes. Pumpkin Spice, Disney is not supposed to own more than one broadcast network. They already own ABC. You tell them. Carl says, for season 4, I would love to see the return of spidery creatures from episode 2. Of course, I'm down for more issues with the Mocklins and the Krill. Well, all those things will be in there for sure. Trek or not, WB is canceling a load of DC movies. I saw that. Batwoman or Batgirl was one of them, which is like finished, and it's like a $90 million movie or something. That makes sense, guys. Do you a good job. Duh. Michael Jordan, sorry late in the live stream. Greetings from Guam. I saw the episode last night. Well, hello, Guam from Canada. Thank you for joining us. Necromancer, please tell me there will be a season 4. Don't know yet. Rumor mill is churning that maybe there's a season 4 on the way. I know Seth MacFarlane wants to do one, so we'll see. Ryan says there will not be a new season of the Orville, calling it now. That'd be a shame. It really would. BJ says, my sci-fi series of stories I'm working on is more focused on non-action drama and comedy than dramatic action pieces. I like the day-to-day in the life of Starship stuff from TNG and DS9. Thank you. I agree with you. Trek or not, and the sandwich finally turned up. Yeah, that was fantastic. I'm glad they remembered that. Pumpkin Spice, yeah, DC needs a rest, about 10 years. Mr. Anderson, Disney doesn't own Fox Broadcasting. 20th Century Fox and Fox Television was in the merger. Squadra Course, if the Orville had a mirror universe, would it be the Orvillian dystopia? Possibly. Ryan K, the more I see of Mocklin culture, the more bizarre it seems. But who thinks of this stuff? Who writes that stuff? That's really brilliant, the way they have that weird shit. Like their gelosia. There says maybe Warner Brothers might make them on a later date for a few years from now, or have something else in mind. Dream out there says I enjoyed this entire season. I did too. They were all fantastic episodes. Pumpkin Spice, the Batgirl movie will leak online. That'd be awesome. Necromancer, I wonder if Seth MacFarlane could bankroll the last season. He must be rich by now. Mr. Captain 93, awesome season. Hope there is going to be another. Bill 23799, remember to click like, everyone. We don't want Captain Foley to get so many downvotes he gets arrested. It's true. I already got one from that lady at the beginning. Pumpkin Spice, that's where Charlie ended up, the Orville Mirror Universe. Dreamer out there, I liked how you got to see the marriage versus another marriage, which is a slice of life with, well, this girl from this primitive world is seeing all that happened and is just blown away. Ryan Lindner, the reason there will be no season is because Star Trek has too many shows going, so now the sci-fi scene is oversaturated. I kind of disagree with you, Ryan, but Mr. Anderson, the Mocklin mating ritual felt very Klingon, maybe just the impression I got, but it was fun and weird enough. I told Sylvia that's how we're going to renew our vows. She's going to get naked and run through the forest, and I got to hunt her down. She didn't say no either. Maybe she just wants to like throw rocks at me and stuff and try to stop me. I don't know. Anyway, you're all invited. Awesome season, but just too short. Yep. Mr. Captain 93, give Seth a season of Trek to run with. You like the video, folks, or the captain will throw you all into the brig. I wouldn't do that. Just that first lady. She can go in the brig. Mr. Captain 93, wait, Captain Foley is from the Upvote planet? Maybe. Squadron Course, I'd rather Seth keep making Orville. Nice to have some variety in sci-fi. Hey Chuck, how's it going? Selena, I want a season 4 more than anything, but I read an article today saying all the actors were released from contracts for the show. That's it. Can't believe those fucking articles though, so. Dreamer out there, sadly, what I heard, the cast is no longer on contract. The sets have been taken down, but I hope not destroyed. Again, I don't believe those articles for a second, so. Mr. Anderson, Gordon's awkward clapping when Bortus and Clyden were standing still was the perfect capstone for the mating scene. Yes. BJ says, short season with long episodes, like old Columbo mystery series from the 70s. Yeah, the fact that the episodes, some of them are in like an hour and 20 minutes or more, was great. If you're going to have 10 episodes a season, you should have longer episodes like that. I'll fight you if you don't agree with me. Hi, Jason. Says, would be cool if they made a crossover between Orville and Strange New Worlds. Oh, that'd be awesome. Would never happen. Necromancer, is there any good Orville merch or ship figures? Is there any good Orville merch, ships, or figures? Merch, I think there's some pins and patches and shirts and stuff like that, plus some costuming stuff. No figures, though. They need figures. I would buy the shit out of those figures. And as for ships, the best you got were the Eagle Moss ones. I've got the standard one, which is the smaller one. I got the XL one, and I got the Season 1 shuttle. I was really wanting the Season 3 shuttle because the Season 3 shuttle is fantastic. But with Eagle Moss being in the situation it's in, we're not going to get that very likely. So, sadly, that's the case. Carlos says, I didn't feel the length of these episodes. I just wanted more. Totally agree. They did not feel their length, that's for sure. Mr. Anderson, thus Seth MacFarlane's been pretty clear. More seasons and episodes of Orville is up to Disney. He'd love to continue it. And BJ says, an hour and 20 minutes without commercials. Yes. Yes, indeed. Dream out there, I was in stitches when he called in all of the Kalon and they left a skeleton defense for the homeworld. Love the Orville dress uniforms. Yes, I did too. Best piece of Orville merch is a Kermit the Frog to place on one's desk. And a little model of the Kitty Hawk. That's the ship that Orville and Wilbur Wright flew. Just saying. Don't know if you knew that. Bortus to Vegas as a Vegas impersonator, if no season 4. Olivia says, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do me a favor. Hit that like button if you believe that the captain is a mean captain for the thumbnail. Crazy Ghost Hunter, do you play Star Citizen? No. Shannon Murphy, Foley. Murphy. Sounds like I'm in RoboCop. Hi, Shannon. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Trekyards, indeed. I have a PhD in aerospace engineering, so my head is full of crap I don't need. I did not know you had that, Trekyards. That's awesome. Dreamer out there, I think with episode 9, they earned this episode. Yes, and I'm glad episode 9 wasn't the last episode. They could have easily done that, ended on that whole thing with Charlie, and been like, ah. But I'm glad they shuffled them the way they did, and this was the last one. Good idea. Urs says, if the captain was a mean captain, he would have been the admiral of the Mirror Universe. Dreamer out there, I was on a 5-hour stream last night with Salty Trekker. He didn't like it. I did. I had to say something. Yeah, I saw maybe 5 minutes of that. And he's like, there's no reason not to like this episode. Yes, he said it went out with a whimper. I kind of understand why he would say that. However, he's wrong. This was a fucking great episode. And I think he's live right now talking about the episode with something called Nerd Fights or Geek Fights or something. Well, you know what? How many viewers does he have? I currently have 41, which is actually pretty low. I usually have more than that. However, go over to Salty Trekker. He's trashing it right now. Well, come over here then, because this is where people know what they're talking about, and it was a fantastic episode. There's nothing to trash in this episode, not one thing, except maybe the girl from the planet. Her pants had a ripped knee, one ripped knee, then they were fine. Then they had 2 ripped knees. Her pants were inconsistent. Other than that, there's not much to hate here. So, and just go over to Salty Trekker's YouTube channel. He's live right now. Just put in the chat if anybody wants to hear good things about this episode. Go on over to Trekyards. And tell him that Captain Foley sent you and said that, Salty Trekker, you're wrong. Michael Jordan, I actually like the longer episodes. More can be done in an hour plus episode than 45 minutes. More complicated storylines. What do you think of them bringing back Lieutenant Alara Katan for a short time? That was great. Perfectly done. Very tasteful. Made sense. You can find out what she was working on now. She doesn't get much time in off-world gravity, so they were glad she's here. I thought it was great. I thought it was done very well. Chuck A. Lower Decks. Lower Decks is next. Yes. August 25th, baby. Shannon Murphy. I discovered the Lorax movie 10 years after it released, and I fell down a rabbit hole. You've been down that rabbit hole for how many months? I haven't seen you in a long time, Shannon. Hope you're okay. Hope that tumble down the rabbit hole didn't break anything. You're always welcome back here, though. Mr. Anderson, the whole philosophy in this episode with the upvote planet and whether or not to boost them technologically was very Trek-like. There's a reason they have a prime directive. Yes, and I said it earlier in this discussion. This was the best explanation of the prime directive, the most in-depth, well-worded, discussed prime directive episode ever, and it's not even Star Trek. So, yes, kudos to them. AC Costello, $2. Hope you're having a good night, Cap. Smooth sail. I'm having a good night so far, so. Thank you for the super chats to get me drinking. The Cynical Optimist. The plane the Wright brothers flew is just the right flyer. Kitty Hawk was where it flew from. Ah, that's what. My bad. I'm so sorry. I apologize. You're right. And became the name of USS aircraft carrier. U.S. aircraft carrier. Yes, that's why I thought it. I'm sorry. I mixed up where it flew and the name of the. Shut up. Get a model of the right flyer then. I'm going to go back and edit that so I don't look stupid. And I'm going to edit out this part too. But you're right. Who is Salty Trekker? He sounds like a cow that liked for too much salt. He's a really great guy and a smart, intelligent person that knows what he's talking about and makes very valid points. However, he's wrong some of the time. He used to be called the Anti-Trekker. Now he's Salty Trekker, and it's much more fitting name for him, being Salty Trekker. But yeah, he's worth checking out. Got a good community, and he's a good guy. Shannon Murphy, look at me, Foley. Look at what I've become. About your little display pic, it's like a little green elf or something. I don't know. It's hard to see. Carl, I just told him this episode was. I just told him this episode was great. Dreamer out there, when Bortus is striking out on his jokes, there was one Kalon who was mean staring him down. I think Gordon saved him. Shannon says it was 5 days ago. I fell down the hole actually, but I fell hard, and I think I'm still falling. Sure it's the Lorax hole and not the Alice in Wonderland hole? Selena, I really miss back in the day when there were 20 plus episodes of shows per season. Just when I'm in the groove of modern show with 6 to 10 episodes, they're over. Yep, totally feel your pain on that one. Shannon says, for the record, North Carolina is first in flight, not boring Ohio. BJ says, I think that if there is a season 3, there was a season 3, we just finished watching it. I think you mean season 4. If there is a season 4, we'll see the social media planet again. I think they were planning a future story idea with things getting worse. Possibly. Nicomancer. Oh, Anti-Trekker. I remember that guy. Shannon says, Elf. LOL, it's from Dr. Zeus. I know, but I can't see it. It's so small. So I'm trying to look at your display pic. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I know the Lorax is Dr. Zeus. I understand that. But your display pic, I don't know what it is. Oh, he was Anti-Trekker. Then I know who he is. Used to watch him now and then, but haven't watched him in a while. Yeah, I haven't watched him much in a while either, honestly. But good friend, and really like the guy. So don't be too hard on him when you tell him that Captain Foley knows better. Shannon Murphy, go to North Carolina, you silly Ohioans. It's all over our license plates. Read it and weep. Necomancer, I would hate to live on the social media planet. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. That was very much a social commentary episode. So was this one. Fucking social commentary up the wazoo. Mr. Anderson, to be fair, the 1 hour length of Orville's season 3 episodes was really well done. Overall screen time was about 13 to 14 episodes if they had been 45 minutes in length. Look at you being able to do math, which is so cute. I hate math, so congrats to you for mathing. Chuck A. Gordon got to eat his sandwich. And it looked good, too. I love how he got some on his mustache, too. It's like, oh. Yeah, it looked good. It was an egg salad sandwich. I fucking want an egg salad sandwich now. Oh, well. Dreamer out there, he said season 3 was left-leaning propaganda, anti-male, anti-religion, anti-conservative, and I don't know. I just did not see it. Who said that? Salty Tracker? Anti-male, absolutely 100% not. Anti-religion, yes. She did say they were missionaries, but not in the religious way, because yeah, he's got a little stick up his ass about Picard in the episode with the Mentakans being like, there is no God. It's fine. I know he's quite religious and goes to church quite a bit, but I still disagree with him on that one. Anti-conservative, I don't even know what the fuck that means. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't see it. I'm sorry that he's wrong. Everybody's allowed to be wrong once in a while. BJ, imagine if TOS had a 4th season with fewer but longer episodes. They would have to be 2-parters in syndication, I guess, but perhaps premiere as a TV mini-movies. Necomancer agrees and says, yeah, love the longer episodes. Mr. Anderson is saying he's a math boy. Yes, you belong in that asteroid that she was shown in the simulator room. You're one of those math wizard jellyfish creature things. Good job. Dreamer out there says, I too love the longer lengths. That's what she said. Actually, I think I've heard that girth is preferred over length, but back to the Orville. Kelly missed out big time. On what? Shannon Murphy says, is this big enough? No. It's still the same size. It's so tiny. It looks like an elf wearing a green jacket with a red tie and like a white dress shirt with green glasses on and a top hat or a pointed hat with like a green brim. Chuck A, great review of this episode, Stuart. You always give an honest appraisal of these episodes. I try. I just give you my thoughts on it, whether you agree with it or not. Dreamer out there, I hope Larissa is back as a regular in season 3. Well, this is season 3, so I think you mean season 4. The cynical optimist, I feel that weird accusations of anti-male, etc., tend to reflect more on what people brought in and are projecting onto the episode rather than actually are in the episode. Yes, it's the whole woke thing, and I can't stand that term. It's woke. Oh, you mean it's progressive? Yeah, shut the fuck up. Stop with this fucking woke. Anyway. Necromancer. I actually like math, but I suck at it. How can you like it and suck at it? I just can't do it. I'm not very good with math. And as a result, I hate it. Mr. Anderson, ooh, now that you mention it, that asteroid place looked effing gorgeous. We need to get off this planet. It's too dull. If TOS went longer, then maybe it would never have become what it became, a legendary show. It's possible. Everything happened exactly as it was supposed to. Lisa Jericho, probably the most season half episode of the bunch. Isaac inviting the entire Kalon fleet to his wedding was funny. Not the entire Kalon fleet, the entire Kalon population, the planet. BJ Tehran, and it's funny, before we get to BJ's, when that happened, Sylvia said, oh my God, there's going to be like 1,000 ships. And I'd already seen the episode, and I'm like, just going to keep quiet. And then later it's like, 4,000 ships. It's like, holy fuck, man. BJ says it was very progressive as a TV show, but so has Star Trek mostly have been. But it also has been hawkish, like Kirk's General Order 24 and Cisco threatening to wipe out the Maquis planet by planet. Hawkish. Selena, it can't be anti-religious. They have their whole value system around not corrupting societies with any variety of ways of living religions. Yeah, and she even made the point of saying, we can't play God. That's actually what they call it, playing God, to decide, oh, you deserve this technology or whatever. So yeah, there is the religious element there, but wow, I can't believe Sulfur Tracker said that. I know exactly how he would say it, and he would make a good point. Like I said, he's a very intelligent guy. He makes really good points. I just don't agree with all of them, but he always has things to back him up, and I appreciate that. I sometimes don't. I just make a point that this was a good thing. I liked it. I have no other thing to say about it. I could think of stuff, but no, he's a very intelligent guy, and he is also very religious, so, you know, the whole Picard being, I'm not a god, there is no god thing with the Mintakins really annoyed him. I know that for a fact. But I can also see his point on that one, from his point of view. Shannon says, tried making it bigger. YouTube sucks when it comes to avatar size. Sorry, I don't know what it is. Looks like a claymation elf out of one of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer things. The Cynical Optimist. I can't stand it either. It just becomes a boogeyman term for stuff I don't like. Yeah, absolutely. Dreamer out there. Sorry for bringing out the negative stuff, Cap. It was just a breath of fresh air. Everyone over here liked it as much as me. BJ said, conservatives who complain about Star Trek and Orville should go make their own sci-fi. A serious version of Starship Troopers. Moon is a harsh mistress, or a sci-fi version of Atlantis. Of Atlas, shrugged maybe. Mr. Henderson, when the 4,000 Kalon ship's fleet appeared, I started imagining what it might be like to see the entire Borg collective appear on your doorstep at once. Scary as hell. Yeah, and then the little fucking Orville with all these ships surrounding it, and you hear that music playing for the wedding. It's like, it's ominous, man. Dreamer out there, yes, I like how Ed say to warn Union Central so no one freaks out. Shannon Murphy, the Onceler from the 2012 Lorax movie. Well, I haven't watched the Lorax movie. I'm not the biggest Dr. Zeus fan, like the Grinch and stuff like that, but Dr. Zeus is fucking weird, man, and his illustrations were creepy. Dude is on some drugs. So I've not seen the Lorax movie, so I would not even know what that character was, so. Soberman says, shake that bottom line. Soberman, you've made a good point, Soberman. You may leave now. Why are you still here? I'm just kidding. You can stay. It's fine. T. Louise Allen, love this season of Orville. Some suspense, some humor, some singing, and some stars. Necromancer, I love the CGI. Has come along as so much and gotten so cheap, relatively speaking, that they can show so many ships on screen at once. Lisa Jericho, technology and social ethics have to progress hand in hand, each one supporting the other incrementally. Anything else is begging for disaster. Best line I've heard so far to justify the Prime Directive. Yes, beautifully well said. The more you know. Yes, indeed, Shannon. BJ says, the Orville is in some ways more like a perfect Star Trek show in the vision that Roddenberry had for future society. He would hate the crew drama and humor that make it fun to watch. R.G. Merkel. I know many that actually love the show, The Orville, myself included. I just do not like the writing or storylines in New Trek minus Stranger Worlds and Lower Decks. Like those. Fair enough. Dream out there also, for anyone in the US, Orville will be on Disney Plus in 6 days. Dream out there, oh yes, the spaceship porn. Seth has a sexy ship. He knows it. He isn't afraid to show it off. Whip that baby out every once in a while. Streak some stars. And Atakakian. Poor Bortus kicked out of the best man role. Well, he wasn't good for it, and he did bully himself into it, so I feel bad for Gordon. This is Jericho. I will need to try out that McMahon tradition with my girlfriend sometime. Oh, the McMahon. The Mauchline tradition. Yeah, that's what I told Sylvia when we renew our vows. That's what we're doing, and she did not disagree. She said, "You want me to run through the forest naked?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, and she continued watching, and I'm like, that wasn't a no. Mr. Anderson, in regards to the Prime Directive and Orville version, I see the reasoning behind not advancing people with tech, but if it is preventable natural disaster without being noticed, go for it. Strange New Worlds, the coming of the comet, or the night of the comet, whatever the hell the comet episode was. It's exactly what they were doing. They were saving the planet, the people on that planet from that comet. Yes, totally agree. As long as you don't introduce yourselves and show off your technology that they can see it, by all means help people out. Mr. Anderson, Picard was very squeamish about preventing natural disasters. I disagree with Picard on that point. But that's not the TOS Prime Directive. That's the TNG Prime Directive, and I think it got bogged down in politics and adding amendments to it and shit like that, where it's like, oh, this was a bad thing when we did this, so we're going to put this in here that we're not supposed to do that kind of thing in the future, and blah, blah, blah. Just it got built up too much by TNG point, I think. Yeah, I don't know. This is Jericho. That's literally the beginning of Into Darkness. They just sucked at it. Let's see, 42 people here with 56 likes. That's pretty good. Can we get to 60 likes? Can we get 4 more likes? 4 more people haven't hit that like button. Give it a tap. Hit that like button. Do it up. Any more super chats would be awesome. Haven't had much to drink now yet. But we're at that 1 hour mark. I think I'm going to call it quits soon. Kind of talked about all I want to talk about with this episode. Just the fact that I really loved it. I don't want a big bad. I don't want a save the universe kind of vibe every episode. This was great. Just the day-to-day thing. Wedding, awesome, cool. The graphics this scene were top notch. Mr. Anderson, TNG's Prime Directive was junk. TOS Strange New Worlds is better, and hell, Janeway violated the Prime Directive more times than Kirk begged babes. Maybe. Dreamer out there, Orville, For All Mankind, The Boys, my best shows this year. For All Mankind is fucking great. If you haven't watched For All Mankind, what are you doing? Go watch it. BJ says, did the Union help the planet to help destroy the gifting tech, by gifting tech, or just leave them, the survivors, to suffer? I don't know. It's not really made clear. They gave them the tech. They fought over the tech. By that point, 9 billion people were dead. There's some survivors, I guess, but maybe the Union went and helped those. I don't know. They also said it was the early days of the Union, so that could have been like 200 years ago. Not clear. So, the cynical optimist. The Prime Directive was kind of like the Constitution of the United States is treated. When it was new, it was important and acknowledged to be so, but over time it became treated like a sacred text. Soberman, I think there may have been a dig at Strange New Worlds in the line about not being able to copy technology just by seeing it. I don't think that was a dig at Strange New Worlds. It's true. Like you, if you were a caveman and you saw a car, yeah, you could tell your friends, I saw a fucking car. It was a big box with things that turned and but you're not an engineer. You don't know how that works. You don't know anything about it. You could tell that tale. That's all it was. I don't think it was a dig at Strange New Worlds. This is Jericho. Why are none of the Orville crew sitting on Isaac's side? Because it's more comedic value to have the groom side be all Kalon. That's why. Michael Jordan, $2. A little to help support you doing live streams. Thank you, Michael. And support my... I just realized if I'm going to go play Aliens Fire Team Elite after this, I shouldn't be drunk. Maybe I should be drunk, maybe better. Mr. Anderson, flip phone inventor saw the TOS communicator and was inspired by it. Seeing things could lead to creating them. It's true. But she was working in a cafe, they said. So for her to say, I walked into a room, it had big panels on the wall, little blue lights, and there was a panel on the wall that she tapped and said a thing, that doesn't help anybody. And even Kelly said, yes, she could describe the environmental simulator to anybody, but so could most sci-fi writers on her planet as well. It's things that they've envisioned, they've talked about, so it doesn't matter. But she had the technical specs on the tricorder she was stealing. She didn't just see them. Yes, we understand that point, Lisa Jericho. But we're talking about the discussion Kelly had, saying that just seeing the things wouldn't matter. Yes, we know she had the technical specs, and if she gave them to somebody, they could create it. That's fine. That's neither here nor there. That's not the point we're trying to make. We're well aware that she had them on there. To me, the Orville looks like what people in the 60s must have thought about the 1701. Organic, different, like it shouldn't work. But it does, because future. True, but it's like showing a stealth bomber to someone in the Middle Ages, give them a century, and they'd still be trying to figure out what plastic is. Michael Jordan thought she was working in cafe, maybe in future because of this experience inspires her to go to school and become an engineer scientist. Doesn't matter, it didn't happen, so why are we talking about it? Bottom line, if she told anyone on her planet about what she saw, people would likely just call her nuts, downvote her into oblivion, and kill her off. Savage society. Exactly, you gotta remember the downvote thing. Sci-fi writers got voted down on her planet, risky profession. Necromancer, you may not be able to copy tech by looking at it, but you can prove that a thing is possible. Like if medieval people saw an aircraft with people in it, they would know it was possible. Yes, so does your imagination, does the same thing. Excuse me. I've seen that a holodeck is possible in Star Trek, but if I tried to describe a holodeck to somebody who's never seen Star Trek, I don't know. I see the argument you're making, but at the same time, it's like describing something's totally different than having specs on it. I'm curious what movies are like on her planet. Yeah, me too. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. I got to go and play some Aliens Fireteam Elite. Any sufficiently advanced tech will look like magic. Yes, yes, yes. We've all heard that before. So I might stream that live. I might not as well. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I wanted to thank you guys for showing up and chatting with me. And I guess if Salty Trekker's still going, go over there and find out what he's complaining about. I often complain to him that he's too negative. So this was a great episode. There was nothing wrong with this episode. Not a goddamn thing. Except for her genes, which were inconsistent at best. I could maybe find one or two little nitpicks as well. But overall, it was a great episode. Really enjoyed it. Fantastic season of the Orville. They need to make a season 4. If they don't, we're going to riot. Hashtag season 4 of the Orville, please. And yeah. Until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley. That woke the dog up. Until next time, I'm Captain Foley signing off. You guys have yourselves a great night. And catch you later. Bye, everybody.